All right, welcome THL, the Sunday Showdown. I'm your host Saku. Gosh, it was hard to say today. I don't know why. Anyway, it's Sunday. That's why. So we are jumping into a match that I'm not. Oh, all right. So it was going to be a deciding factor match, but it looks like there's been some updates since I last refreshed. So we got two players here. We got Kalis Luna representing Bing Bong Big Top versus Linthesis from she's from Swagaway. Currently the score is 13-7. Sorry, yeah, 13-7. God, I keep on looking at the wrong thing. But to cast this match tonight, we have the wildly famous guy Mayanadon. How you doing, sir?
Doing great. I love how you had a little trouble saying your own name today. So that's a good start to the show. We love that.
It's only four letters, and I'm stumbling over that. That's bad.
No, I was really excited. This is going to be a fun match. Two great players. The stakes as far as the week aren't there anymore, but teams were tied before the week. They're both fighting for those playoff spots. Every point matters. So Linthesis, she's going to be looking for a big win here over Kalis Luna.
Yep.
And, of course, Luna is going to be looking for that win to just solidify one of those top four spots for Bing Bong Big Top.
Yep. And then we got a newbie to the Sunday Showdown crew. I got Salty Saturdays up there. I just noticed that now. Kodamara, how you doing, sir?
Doing fantastic, and you set the bar so high. So, it's kind of take the pressure off us, and, I think it's going to be good. I like it when sometimes there's not anything on the line but pride. And sometimes they, kind of just takes the pressure off the players and just lets them play their full potential. Definitely looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, it's in the Pro Series. These are going to be some really strong players, piloting some fun decks too. Only one deck in common here. We don't have the bands just yet, but yeah, let's talk about these decks here.
Decks are up.
Oh, fantastic, Saku. You are just on top of it all.
What's my name?
Saku? Saku says...
Saki.
Let's do it. Kalis Luna bringing in this week the Mine Rogue. So that's this is actually it's sort of a thief mine hybrid. It's been a popular deck recently. That's always fun to watch. Celestial Druid, so Anaconda Druid there, Wig Priest, and Fell Demon Hunter. Not running, I forget the card's name, but it's the one that copies a...
Carrier? Yeah, Carrier.
Carrier, yeah. So Carrier. No Carrier in this list. I've been seeing that a lot. But Kalis Luna choosing to omit that card, going kind of more what we've seen before for Fell DH, just throwing in those Fossil Fanatics to help round things out, and the Zillag, obviously, or Zylag. I feel like I saw someone post today that it's Zylag. I was always saying like Zillag, or I don't know. Anyway, whatever you call that card,
X-Lag.
the buff card that is in that list as well. And on the other side, again, that sort of same deck here is that Fell DH I just mentioned, and in this case, Linthesis, she's brought Carrier. So the card I was just talking about, I could have just looked over here. So simple. And also the Aldraki Warblades would make it pretty a little bit better there in the mirror as well. So curious to see what the bans will end up being. Other decks that Linthesis has brought, Charge Warrior, that's been pretty popular, is running the Igneous Lava Gorgers though. In addition, so throwing those in for that armor gain and dredge ability. Mech Paladin. Pretty standard sort of list here overall. And then I guess the Mothership, maybe not seen in all of them. Sometimes a couple of different flex cards there. Bannerman sometimes is in there as well. And then the Big Beast Hunter, and this looks like more of the aggressive early game Big Beast Hunter with the Slither Spears, the Doggy Biscuits, and the Scribes to kind of round out that early game with the Naga's Pride, and then finish off with those big beasts.
Yeah, kind of the question going in, since we don't see the bans. I mean, if you're Kalis Luna, I mean, what do you not like from Linthesis and what she's bringing up? Where are you looking to ban out there? And then, likewise, what do you think Linthesis, as she's looking at her opponent's lineup, what is she not liking?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. I could see, a lot of people don't like the Wig Priest, especially in the slower decks. If the Charge Warrior, the Big Beast Hunter, if they're not able to get a good start into Wig Priest, it can just really run away with it. Um, so maybe the Priest being banned out on that side, and on the other side, I could see the Demon Hunter being banned out that I brought up just to kind of. I feel like that might be, or Mech Paladin. I could see Mech Paladin also being banned out with the Celestial Druid in there, and I could see that being banned out for Linthesis. But we'll see. I mean, whatever these players don't want to see. It looks like bans coming here shortly. Yeah, what would you predict here for those bans, or is it going to be comfort? Is it going to be just what you don't like seeing?
Yeah, we call it the ladder shock, right? If you do spend too much time on ladder, there's just some decks that you hate seeing over and over
Mm-hmm.
again. I do agree with you. I think the Wig Priest is the right ban. It's just one of those decks that just can kind of get going and it's just annoying to stop. And looking at the matchups, I think there's no clear like hard counters. There's no clear easy bans, but I think the Wig Priest is definitely what I'd go there. And on the other side, I mean, could be the Demon Hunter. You just don't want to deal with, the just constant threats. At the same time, Charge Warrior is that kind of impending doom, right? They have a little bit more control, a little bit more safety, and especially with learning that kind of charge package at the end of it to kind of finish them off. It's just kind of like, they just survive until they have the combo in hand. So, I can definitely see maybe a Warrior ban here. But like you said, I think comfort definitely comes into play.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we wait for these players to queue up, any sort of other tech cards or things that we can see here, let's take a look. Serena Bloodfeather in the Wig Priest. That's not in everyone's list, but certainly a good one into some big things and getting that early tempo. Um,
Oh,
oh,
we got
Bands
bans.
are in. I got a whisper in my ear. Bands are live. That is going to let us jump to that discussion. I don't see them loading for me. Saku, can you tell me what we're looking at?
No, because I just refreshed myself. I'm going by Linthesis. She said
Okay.
it's in now, so it's like okay. It's like okay, so
Sometimes it takes a second. Sometimes it takes a second to load.
Anyway, so sorry to interrupt. You can continue with your flow.
Oh yeah. No worries at all. The other card in that Weak Priest I'm seeing that isn't in every single list is that Cleric of Anshi. And seeing that in some lists as well. But some people like to run, maybe some more removal like Holy Smite, or ways to kind of, scale otherwise, or another shard of the Naru sometimes. So couple of tech choices, but not too crazy overall. And then for the Druid, looking to be the list I've been seeing more recently, the Double Park Panthers kind of ran out that early game a little bit, and the Spammy Arcanist. So actually a decent amount of game into some of those early or mid-gamey sort of decks, cutting out the Druid of the Claws and putting those Park Panthers in. A little bit different style, but definitely serves a similar purpose, but more of a mid-gamey and better in that late game, of course, after the Celestial alignment.
Yeah, I'm kind of come from shock because our Legacy series wrapped up and two of our players that brought Druid just got hard countered. And, I was look at one of our players that just drew nothing but the heavy hand both games and just had no chance. And so that always kind of makes me nervous when the Celestial Druid sometimes it just doesn't ramp. But like you said, it has a mid game to it. It has ways to recover and reset the board. So it has a chance to kind of, even with a slow start, has a chance to recover and kind of get going.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
wonder how much the carry difference is going to kind of be. We may not see it. We may see both of them bring it, but, does that one change matter, right? And that's an interesting kind of wondering what it frees up for both the different Demon Hunters.
Yeah, I think I'm seeing another thing in Luna's deck that I didn't notice before is those Tusk Piercers. Not seeing that too often, but throwing those in, I guess, as ways to draw those treasure guards. What else do you actually get off of those? I think it's just the treasure guard, but gives you another weapon, maybe. That's an interesting little card there. I think that's it. There's also the Herald of Chaos. That's something I haven't seen in all of those. But that kind of maybe takes the spot of the Warblades. Those two Herald of Chaoses allow for some healing. Yeah, I'm really curious actually how this list plays out. I looked at or I haven't seen a list quite like this for the Fel DH before.
Yeah, it looks like it's more just trying to make sure that they establish control early, just kind of with the board and kind of put a little pressure down, and then just kind of survive through until, get to those later turns where, you drop Jace and you just start, ending the game. Definitely an interesting approach. And then we have, what's your take on the Beast Hunter? I heard a lot of positive things, just have not seen a lot of it running around, not in our series, but
yeah, I've played some of that version actually, the list that Lenthesis brought with that sort of early game. It's very susceptible to draw issues. Obviously, if you draw it backwards, it's not going to do as well as you want. But when you do draw it, correctly, so to speak, it can really put a lot of pressure early and then just keep ramping up that pressure. And you have sort of a little bit of variety and flexibility with those revive pets and, trying to get the right pets. You also have the Phelan that could put, beast at the bottom of your deck for your harpoon guns. There's a lot of sort of nuances and, interesting choices. So I'm hoping to see it. We'll see if what the bans are. Are they in yet? I'm still waiting here.
Yeah, we're
on
still
my side.
Here we go. I got it. We're in. Luna. Kalis Luna has banned the Charge Warrior, so that was a good call by you. That was the ban. So no, we will not see that Charge Warrior. And then that Fel DH we were just yammering on about is banned out for Luna, so we won't see that mirror and see what takes that mirror. But so Demon Hunter banned out on one side, and on the other side, the Charge Warrior. So we'll see a complete 6 different deck fight here.
Gotta love it.
Yeah,
gotta love it. I mean, sometimes you hate the mirror because it just comes down to who just draws better, who the Hearthstone gods determine gets the better draws. I like it when you definitely have a matchup and you have chances. Knowing the bans, who do you think has kind of the lineup favorite?
I think if Lenthesis draws in the right order for that big Beast Hunter and that Mech Paladin, if they are drawing well, it's going to have an advantage into that Druid. I think the Druid could be that weak point here for Kalis Luna into this matchup. If those decks draw well, that's going to be the difficult one to get through, and I think that might give Lenthesis the advantage, but it could definitely be a close one. That Mind Rogue is very aggressive, gets in under some of those other decks, especially if they're drawing backwards. So yeah, I think it's going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, I just gave both players the go-ahead to go, so we're going to see Lenthesis on the bottom of the screen. So it's first to spectate for our viewers, and Kalis Luna will be at the top. So.
All right.
Just waiting on those eyeballs.
Yep.
Right in.
Yeah,
any things that you predict here for that first queue with these two players?
Ooh.
What are you predicting?
I think if maybe get Naga Priest out of the way, right?
Sure.
I think you come in with a Naga. It's a staple deck. It's not simple to play. I mean, it's very straightforward to play. Gives you a lot of confidence going in. And same thing maybe on the Mech Pally side, right? So you have with Mech Paladin, it's one of those decks that you slam down creatures and kind of just go. And I always like kind of starting with, unless you're rolling the dice, right? Statistically, you should roll the dice. But
yeah,
if you're making that choice, kind of I like starting off with decks that you can get a good win and kind of get in the flow of the match.
Absolutely. One strategy there. Looks like we have those eyeballs, so we'll be able to decide right now what those two players have brought. It looks like Linthesis starting off here with that hunter. So we're going to see that big beast hunter first. And on the other side is that rogue disguised as a shaman. And starting off with a pretty solid hand here has the Null on Luna's side. And on the other side, Saber
Harpoon
is
gun?
an interesting one, especially with Harpoon Gun, because then you can, pull up the Sunken Saber and then, summon something from your deck. That's a pretty good combo. On the
Doesn't
other
keep
hand,
it though.
though, yeah, could are looking for that early game, like I said, and falling short of that can be a big issue.
Oh, double null in the hand is really just a good
Double
start.
null, no tradable, unfortunately, to get those really discounted, but that's not going to be too upsetting. Having some cheap nulls here very soon.
Yeah, passes the turn and sees a bomb early. You don't want to see the bomb early. That's actually a bad sign.
Yeah, that is not what you want, especially on a turn that, their next turn you might want a sketchy information to draw it.
Let's see here. Are you going to coin out the weapon or just play the scribe? Okay, playing the scribe.
This is an interesting situation here for Linthesis, because now you're getting that discount. If you the next spell you play, this is, let's say, removed, and you don't have a target for that ramming mount, it could be coin. In this case, it might just be that Harpoon Gun. But,
yep.
That's always risky. You don't have a follow-up play for those scribes, you might lose out on that discount.
And drawn some big beasts too, so
yeah,
that's
not what you want to see. Yeah, you really want those big beasts to be at the bottom here to pull this way.
Whoa.
Neither of these are the big beasts. You can select a breeder to find some more beasts, but right now, very heavy hand, and you want to be the aggressor if possible here for Linthesis, because very soon that rogue is going to start dishing out some damage.
I think they chose a revive. I could be wrong. And we got prep into the sneaky, at least get that second bomb in hand.
Yeah, after drawing that second sketchy information, that is a little unfortunate. Pretty much, I believe, a dead card here. Is there any other death rattles? I don't believe so.
There's not, and it's really hard to activate, right, the bombs from the hand, so it's definitely much slower.
Yeah, did have the tempo there with the nulls. This is also obviously a combo here with the Pet Collector. You always pull a Saber unless you've discounted something else in your deck already. So one reason to cycle those Sabers back in the deck. In this case, able to then get. This is pretty much what you're looking for with those Sabers, is getting it to go off and then pulling a Sunken Saber. And now we might be able to pull either Mountain Bear or King Crush with that Saber, and that's really where things might be able to turn here for Linthesis. Just has to dodge that other Saber pull.
See the Snowfall. Takes the Snowfall.
Yeah, this is a good setup.
It's getting close to that 16 mark, right? So that's getting dangerous. Can't take any more hits. Sunken Saber.
Yeah, so this Saber we'll see what it does end up pulling, and it finds a King Crush, a really good pickup there. That is going to probably go phase. We can revive Pet and find that other Saber, pull out, hopefully that Mountain Bear, although could still pull out the other Saber. Let's see. Hits the Mountain Bear. I mean, this is exactly what you're hoping for. Mountain Bear and Hydrolodon in the hand right now, so that was a big 50-50 pulled.
Oh, we see an activator for the bombs, but just not enough turns, right? There it is. A couple turns too late. Drawing the bombs early really kind of that's the danger in that bomb rogue. As you draw the bombs, it's not what you're looking for.
Drew a bomb early, and then also drew both of those death rattle pull cards. Really slowed things down. One of them ended up being dead in the hand, so really like 3 dead cards in the hand very early. So first win there for Linthesis. That's going to be a really important there for Segoy to keep getting those points to try to stay in this race. They need every point. Yeah, every point they get over Cheesemongers United puts them in that 4th spot. That is very, very important.
And with that in mind, what do you bring now? So you still have the bombs go through. You got your hunter through. What's the next one you're lining up?
Yeah, I think you saw that mine rogue. I don't know. I think maybe it's that demon hunter here or that paladin. Like you said, the paladin is more of a comfort, easy kind of navigate deck, but the demon hunter could have a little bit better time into some of the other decks that could come up. So yeah, here is that demon hunter, and Luna making a change here, not wanting to play that rogue once again. We're going to see that Naga priest.
You definitely look for the wigs in hand. So, kind of dumping everything but that early one drop, kind of just digging for wigs or search. And from Lenthesa's side, she's got a lot of weapons in hand. Definitely keep the glaive and then dump the rest, or what are you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one. I think that's why we're seeing Lenthesis wait so long. Is the glaive is going to be really powerful in this matchup, and in combination with multi-strike can really bring you back into things. So those are really interesting to keep. And then there's the argument for Warblades, right? Because you could get injured, but I mean, you're going to take some damage and you want to heal, but instead going to dump it all. I really am surprised by that. I would have expected the glaive keep, like you said, and maybe the multi-strike. But instead, Lenthesis is saying, I am looking for other cards here. I want to start being aggressive on the board. I don't want to have the comeback cards. I want to win the board early. Unable to find any of those Slither Spear 1-drops. So instead, going to have to take things a little bit slower. Maybe, do you ever Fury here to remove this? I think that's maybe premature. You didn't see a wig, which could have been coined out to protect this. So
with the read of no wig, I think you can let it sit for a turn. But yeah, I mean, having the weapons in hand would have been optimal, but goes ahead and just removes it.
Just a little worried about it, not wanting to take the damage either. But yeah, definitely could have seen an argument one way or another. Luna on the other side would have had a pretty good answer with this to stop the damage coming through. And boy, wouldn't this be a situation where that glaive really likes to come in handy.
Does have the Herald to kind of come in and just reduce the health down, which is always kind of, you want to keep, especially the guards in check with the big 5 health. Do see a wig come in hand, though.
Yeah, the wig bless. Finally getting there with that double bless. Kind of an awkward hand, though, once this is all used up. If this is able to be removed from Lenthesis, this is going to be a tricky one. No other follow-up Nagas to keep things going. So, like you said, double bless. This is not the hand you want to be seeing for Luna, but trying to make it work. Thinking about the different opportunities here. We might even see one of these blesses.
Yeah, I think you commit one of the blesses early to keep the creature alive. And then they do have the Devourer for, the Vanguard, which she doesn't know is in hand, but like...
Oh, wow, interesting.
Oh.
So yeah, taking a different approach, they're able to get the trade clear. Really, really smart play there with that Devourer being played to clear everything off. That worked out very nicely. And now another Crush Claw Enforcer in the hand to hopefully be able to start cycling with these wigs.
Yeah, trying to refill the hand, that's always been the problem. With Priest, sometimes you play everything and then you're down to onesies and twosies. I like the School Teacher pick up a lot of value there, and just a big 8-9 on the board. Clears off the generator.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that respect.
Giving them a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you want to give the Demon Hunter too many turns, or do you want to start putting pressure and put their life in danger? What's your approach with Naga Priest?
I mean, you definitely want to be applying that pressure early if you can. As the longer the game goes on, the more power plays they have with the Jace, with the Xylag. I think it's very much try to apply that pressure as fast as possible. In this case, going to have to tank a little bit of damage, but does clear off the board. It's a pretty powerful play there.
What do we see here?
But yeah, again, it's what the deck tells you can do too. Depending on how you draw, you have to interact a different way. Stormpike Aid Station, have seen that in this list sometimes, can be really, really powerful, especially on that stick there, the 1 mana stick, and it is actually going to just be played out. You don't get that cycle of the Serpent Wing, but you get that Stormpike Aid Station on both of these, protects your minions. I like it a lot here from Luna. It's definitely a debate. Sometimes you really want to maximize those cycles of those Serpent Wigs, and it could be important here with this kind of hand. But I also see an argument for playing it out as soon as possible and protecting those minions.
You need a board. I mean, that's the one thing that Naga Priest needs, and needs minions on board to do anything. And if you get behind, you're just always going to be a turn too late. So I agree. I think the aid station was correct, and I think you slam it down here to give you a better chance of having minions on board.
Yeah, I do understand the debate here, though. I mean, it's so tricky. We have not hit Handmaidens, which I think are like some of the best draw engines in the deck. We hit so many spells, no Thrives to cycle the spells. So kind of a clunky start here for Luna, but making the most of it. On the other side, also pretty clunky here. We'll have the Xylag next turn, but this turn not able to really contest this board. Can clear off the 1/3, but that's about it. And actually going to use the Lady Sitheno just to add another threat to the board that maybe Luna has to interact with.
Yeah, I think that the goal is that it becomes a soft taunt, right? Do you make that choice of just leaving it up, or you just go face to try to rush them down? Oh, and the Malganon. So now we have some draw, some card generation at least. Plays the Wig, and really going to make it big.
Yeah, this is a really nice turn here with that Radiant Elemental. But once again, we are pretty much all in. With that pickup, though, we will have another chance to cycle next turn.
And if you're Lymphesis, how does she clear this massive 7/10? It's going to even be bigger, right? I mean, do you go ahead and just bless and go face and just say, hey, you got to remove me?
Yeah, certainly is an option here. The question is, do you go Scribe, then the Bless here, because you get the discount before you Wig? And it looks like, no, just going to hold back the Bless here. Ends up wasting a little bit of discount, but does protect that Radiant. And now
does have Lethal Threat.
Yeah, absolutely. And now on the other side, I'm not seeing a really good solution here. Might just have to be that Xylag and hope that it clears something. There, maybe trade into the 2/5 or the 3/7, hoping that 3 of those stocks hit the 3/7, or I don't know. That's a tough one.
7. Yeah, just want to get help down.
You want to give the health to even numbers for the Xylag's first trigger. So it's the 7 or the 5 you're trading into. It's just how lucky do you think you are? It's probably going to have to be the 2/5 and hope that the 3/4 and the 2/4 are somehow both removed.
Trades into 3/4.
Just trying to guarantee. And did not clear anything, and that is going to just be lethal on board. No need to do anything else, but Kaelis Luna just wanting to play as many wigs as possible, really just trying to style out there. And I get it when you got all these different wigs to wear. You want to try them all on.
You got to wear them if you got them.
You got to wear them if you got them.
I mean, ties it up 1/1. Right?
Yeah, ties it up 1/1. That means that the priest does get through. Not too surprising. Did expect it to get through at some point here. In this situation, though, I think Kaelis Luna just has to keep holding back that druid and just trying to get a win here, maybe with the rogue and get the druid last, or is this a moment where Kaelis Luna is like, I need to get this druid win. I'm going to get it out of the way right now. We've already won the week. I know that this is going to be the tough one. Let me get 2 chances, and then I think the rogue can get under a little bit later. Let's see what is decided. It is going to be the case here for Kaelis Luna, bringing that druid and the paladin coming through. That is going to be a tough one to overcome if it does draw pretty well. It's very aggressive and a lot of pressure. Prismatic Jewel Kit, Radar Detector, both very good early on. And on the other side, though, also some very good options there.
Yeah, you like to see early ramp in hand and definitely guff. I mean, that's definitely better than a bunch of 7 and 8 drops, right? So, definitely gives you those outs. And having the drill kit early, having the radar detector, solid openings on both sides. So this should be very interesting to see. But definitely, I think it's on the.
Wow. Tossing the radar detector.
Oh.
So saying, I really need to be aggressive. I can't even afford to play radar detector for 2 mana. I want minion after minion after minion. I'm surprised we didn't see Coin Click Clocker with that attitude, with that sort of process of not keeping the radar detector. The Coin Click Clocker just puts on that timer already.
Yeah, next turn it's going to be maybe. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to coin out, if you're going to coin the first 2 turns, you were going to coin on the first turn. So I think maybe double playing Neurotron coin into Clickclocker, or Clickclocker coin into Amalgam, right? Amalgam.
Yeah, that's certainly an option. Seafloor Savior picked up. Looks like Linthesis is thinking about a couple of options here. Might be holding on to the coin for something later, and now just trying to get something from the bottom of the deck here. Mooncatcher, obviously, what you want to be seeing before you play the Savior, but does round out the curve a little bit. So might just pick that up anyway and hope to find some other dredge options a little bit later.
And we just see the ramp up here. And then we do see, the scales that can kind of clear the board and
scaled, Miracle Growth, a lot of recovery tools here on the other side. This is going to be a nice 6-4 with Divine Shield. That's tough to deal with. We'll start applying the pressure.
And saves the taunt. You got a taunt to hide it behind. Gonna Aquaform, Dredge, see what you got.
Spammy Arcanist, it's hard to not pick that, I think. It might be the perfect option here later on. With the Earthen Scales can also potentially set up some interesting numbers as well, if needed in combination. Looks like right now we're at a 2, 3, and 5 health. We'll see if we do find anything else. Not going to pick up that sheep, I imagine, but now it's a choice between the Mooncatcher and the Bubblebot. Going to go with the Mooncatcher, just keep trying to apply pressure that way. Eventually, we might find some way to dredge these sunken Mooncatchers, but maybe the game will be over before then.
Yeah, having the Divine Shields on the board just makes it really inefficient to clear. Let's see here, Moonlight. Ooh. What do you?
This is an interesting one. Yeah,
I think he's still under pressure, so innervate to get it out. Miracle, or get the scales.
Well, it lets you innervate twice, right?
Yeah.
So how much mana are we currently at? I can't see with the card still being hovered.
Well, it should be 5 because she has the coin.
Well, we've Wild Growth, we've Guff. How much? Yeah, we're at 7, and so if we took the Innervate, we could have gotten up to 7 again from 5. So yeah, would not have been able to play this turn the Miracle Growth. So yeah, just gonna hold back here. Look for a better opportunity here next turn, able to just ramp up a little bit with that Wild Growth and, thin the deck somewhat as well.
And again, I think Linthesis is just going to build up the board without committing too much to it, right? Threats on board, makes it so they have to get rid of them. Does commit out another 4/2, puts it on the bottom. Solid pressure.
Now we've got a pretty tough board to deal with. No 4 health or 1 health minion. Could set up a 4 health minion, but no way to get a 1 health minion right now without Scale of Onyxia, so no mana to do that, and the Arcanist. So going to resort to this Moonlit Guidance here for Luna. What are we looking for? Let me take a look at the deck. What is it that we're hoping to find off of this Guidance that can get us out of here? Is it Park Panthers? Is it...
Scale, another Scale. I don't know
if we at Lochthalar health right now? Is that good enough? We've already got the Scale, so getting 3 Scales might be what you're hoping for out of this game. So yeah, going to ramp up, use the Scale here. So now we'll have a total of 3 available this game. might be enough to deal with these buffed up minions that we are creating with these Divine Shields. But yeah, going all in on removing the Divine Shields here. So that is the end of the Jewel Kit, but we got some big minions in the hand.
Definitely got the value out of that, but I think he needed to reset the board and just buy himself another turn to kind of dig deeper and dig deeper. Has a way to kind of reset the life with Alexstrasza if need be. But here, yeah, just I think Bubblebot just to make it harder to clear. 7/7 on board, threaten lethal.
Yeah, are you playing anything in addition? Are you going to play the double Click-Clocker Bubblebot here?
Yeah, I mean, there may have been, I think, the Bubblebot coin into Mooncatcher, but saves it
sure.
Just to get more damage on board.
Now, though, what are our health totals? We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. We're 1 mana off of being able to play the Scale and the Spammy Arcanist. Can still scale here, though. Is it enough?
I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's scale. Is there an answer? Or scale into Spammy?
Right. We don't have enough mana to do that, right?
No.
Oh no, we have exactly enough mana.
Yeah,
so yeah. So yeah, there must be. You can set it. You can at least clear the board besides the Bubblebot.
And that does buy you that one extra turn. Then you can taunt up, gain some life.
Yeah, there's definitely a way to do this. The health totals on the other side are I think Chaos Luna is maybe trying to figure out if there's a way to clear the Bubblebot as well. I'm not seeing.
Gotta go.
Because we're 1 mana short of being able to Earthen Scales.
Mm-hmm.
One of these potentially to scale towards the if we can Earthen Scales the Click-Clocker here, that's when we could have cleared. But we're 1 mana short of the full clear, so gonna have to leave up that 7/1. And with the Cariol top deck here, that is just gonna be exact lethal, or actually 2 over with the weapon as well, and that is going to be the game going to Linthesis, taking a 2-1 lead here, and only the Demon Hunter remaining for Linthesis. She's going to be trying to get that through this Druid and the Rogue. I actually don't know. With that healing that's potentially available with the Warblades in the Demon Hunter, could potentially swing back a really tough situation with the Mine Rogue. So I'm curious if maybe we just go for that Druid again here. Hope to get it through, and then worry about the Rogue and just pray they don't find the Warblades.
Yeah, those are the frustrating games where you're just about to turn the corner, you're just about to reset, and then it's carry off the top and GG's. So, got to recover, come back, and I agree. I think you come back with the Druid again, and there it is. Let's see. Ooh, that's a heavy hand.
Yeah, on the other side, though, Linthesis Slither Spear really good. Vanguard also very good to get that early aggression. Glaive not as good early in the game. Might see that tossed away. We did see Linthesis favor tossing that earlier in a matchup you'd think would be more favorable to keep it. So I think that's going to be tossed here in a matchup where it's not going to do anything for many turns. So yeah, that is going to be the keeps there.
Oh, and no ramp on Chaos Luna's side, so going to have to top deck some stuff to get into it. While Linthesis, she's got early minions, and this is not what you want to see if you're the Druid.
Early minions, and we might see that carrier go off.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see several turns from that, but might keep the coin for it. Never mind. Of course. Of course. I feel like that happens to me every time. So this is par for the course. I know the feeling with Thesis. I get it.
And getting the Fanatic down and no way to kind of remove it in hand. Maybe the option to draw more cards, but no, goes ahead and just wants to get more things on board, put the pressure down.
Yeah, interesting. Holding back the coin here now that we've drawn the Xylag. Maybe that's where we're saving the coin for. Now the carrier feeling pretty rough. So I don't anticipate that being coined out anymore, but maybe it's for the Xylag on turn 6. I'm surprised. I think I would have tried to hero power this turn, and then next turn you have the 3 mana to play the Fanatic and hero power as well, and just keep putting that
Keep the
pressure.
pressure. Yeah, I agree. Keep putting pressure down. Let's see. Is this just hero power pass? Well, hero power attack pass, but now we do see Nourish in hand, so there are ways. Oh, another, so there are more minions down. Yep, and we should see the Fanatic into hero power, build the board, do the damage.
Strike now, ancient power.
Oh,
Yeah, so this is exactly the pressure that Linthesis is hoping for to try to take this one. On the other side, still not hitting the ramp that you're looking for. Has to just play this Amalgam here to try to contest this board in some way. But we're going to see.
But you do have Nourish next turn that goes into scales, so if Kalis Luna can just hold on, has a way to kind of reset the board, and has the chance with the Celestial and has outs. The
It's
minions aren't
certainly
big yet.
possible. The Fell Barrage is going to come through here as well. Just keep applying the pressure that way. We're going to draw another card. It's going to be tough here for Luna to come back, but maybe that swing with the scales is going to come just in time. It's going to be close, though. It might just be a turn too late. Nourish is going to come through here. No reason to trade into one of these 1/1s. They just summon them once again. So limit their ability to play any minions here. Fell Barrage with this current hand, not quite enough, but certainly starting to get there.
And unless they clear the board, you're kind of creature locked anyway, so just dumping a bunch of spells, making the Slither bigger. Doesn't demon. Okay.
Actually, wait. Was that Miss Lethal? If we multi-strike there.
That's what I'm wondering. Is it the
I'm
additional
pretty sure
damage?
with multi-strike, that's an extra 3 damage with the Slither Spear.
Yep.
I guess, we could just coin multi-strike now. It doesn't matter. We get there anyway. But almost a missed lethal there. Missed a little bit of damage, but Linthesis finds it there in the end. Style points with the exact lethal. No need to connect the multi-strike to the face, that extra 2 damage. That's just for fun. And now we have a victor here in Linthesis. Like I said, the Druid I thought was going to struggle a little bit, and we saw exactly that. But yeah, big win there for Linthesis, getting a 3-1 win, making this series a complete 3-1 series across the board, 3-1 in each match, just 3 of them going the way of Bing Bong Big Top, and only 2 of those going the way of Swagoi. But really actually close series, and both teams well fought. Hopefully they can both continue to fight for those spots. We'll see what they do.
And those 3 points are big. Yeah, the 3 points are big for the season, right? So you always want to make sure you have those points. So even if it's not a week win, it's still a team win for the series, because every point matters, especially getting closer to the playoffs.
Absolutely. Are we getting an interview here, by the way, Saku? What's the play?
Yeah, I'm just trying to line that up with a Linthesis, and she hasn't responded just yet. She's probably just going through the games and probably talking over the match a little bit. But this gives me an opportunity to kind of jump in and say that we do have another match right after this one. We have Ducharmo, who is for Dad Legend in the Legacy series, going up against Seebeck from the Coolest. So this is a cross-conference match. So that one's coming right after this one. So this was kind of on the fly. So I want to thank Mayanadon and Kotamura for being able to stick around and cast as much as they can for this one. So
yeah, absolutely. I haven't even taken a look at this these lists here, the classes yet here.
Oh, it's a mirror. Paladin, Priest, Shaman, Warrior on both sides.
Wow. Okay.
I like this lineup. I mean, this is the lineup I should have brought this week, and I did not. And congrats to Tino's for beating me this week. But I did not bring Warrior this week, and that was just a huge mistake.
Still waiting for a response. If they can't do it, that's no problem.
Yeah, our next two players available to get started early. Is that possible?
They're getting set up as it is right now. So.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful stuff. So yeah, why don't we, while we wait, see if she wants to join? No big deal if not. But we can start talking about this next match while we're sitting here. It is going to be Dad Legend versus the coolest DeCharmo versus Beaker Seabeek.
Yep.
Seabeek. Both players in that one seed here for their teams, tied, right, or not tied, score at 7-9. Dad Legend in the lead. So Seabeek really going to be looking for a win here into DeCharmo, who's been having a solid season here. Total class mirror, Paladin, Priest, Shaman, Warrior. Any predictions just looking at that? Any bans? Are they both going to ban the same thing, or do they have different directions they might be going here with their lists?
I think it comes down to the priest. If you can play Boar Priest and you're comfortable with it, I think leaving up Warrior and Paladin into a Boar Priest is a line of thinking. If you're not, then you want to ban one of the two, Warrior or Paladin. I think given those two, I think you ban. My preference is ban Warrior, but either way, I mean the Shamans burn Shamans into the heavy lineups. I think you could pull out wins against all three of the decks. This is going to be very interesting. I think it does come down to which priest they are bringing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And this is in the Legacy Series, so will be Conquest format, the same as the last series, but with the closed lists. So we can't really know what the players are going to bring necessarily without kind of predicting at this point. But yeah, with those different strategies, I think DeCharmo, I could see playing that Boar Priest, being able to play that. I don't know Seabeek as well, but we'll have to see if that is the case on both sides, or if maybe we'll see that Wig Priest once again. I'm curious. Yeah, maybe the Shaman's banned here. These could all be sort of board-centric decks, and that Shaman can really stop those.
Yeah, I do like the Shaman's ability to just go over the top of any kind of damage on the board. It really doesn't care what you're playing. It has ways to reach insane damage numbers and be able to control the board. So I always believe that Shaman has a way out of pretty much any matchup. So it's definitely possible. What I like about the closed list is the fact that you bring the classes that have the most flexibility, and then once you see your opponent's lineup, then the mind games begin on kind of which direction you go. And it becomes one of my favorite parts of the week is trying to figure out, once you submit, kind of what your lineup's going to be, and submitting your classes to give you that kind of flexibility of which direction to go.
Yeah, absolutely adds another layer to that preparation and that strategy going forward each week. With that period of time that we see the classes before we choose those decks that we're bringing.
And if you look through this, and teams talk to each other, so we can look through the rest of the teams. And it's interesting. You see on Seabeek's side is, you got Paladin, Priest, Shaman. Paladin, Priest, Shaman is also brought by another one. You had Hunter, Priest, Shaman. I mean, so there's definitely some consensus around Priest and Shaman. Paladins is they like a lot. I know Dad Legend loves Mage. We played them earlier this season. I think all of them brought Mage at this point, but you're seeing DeCharmo kind of go a little bit different direction. Doesn't bring the Mage, does bring the Paladin, Priest, Warrior lineup, which tells me it's more of a control kind of mindset, more the Holy Paladin, Boar Priest, Control Warrior, and then Burn Shaman, I think is a solid lineup. It'd be very interesting to see. Let's see if they're ready to go.
Yeah, they're just waiting for Seabeek to kind of get their client straight. Some things are going on in the background, so they haven't got the bans yet. So it's going to be another couple minutes. But I want to thank Kalis Luna and synthesis to being on stream. So congrats again. Yeah. So.
No, it was a great match, and we see again the danger of that. When Celestial Druid goes off, it's like to see, but sometimes it just ends up being a turn too late, or your hand gets too heavy, you don't have the ramp. It's very frustrating when you're on the piloting side of that deck when it doesn't come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely going to be interesting to see what these players decide. Curious. I think I'm the most curious about their sort of choice to that priest, like we said early on. I think the other ones, I have a better idea of what I think we'll see. We're probably going to see either that controller charge warrior, similar sort of play styles. Although, Quest Warrior is still kind of waiting in the wings, can be brought in the right situation. I don't think especially if that shaman's being left up, I don't think we'll see it. But if the shaman's banned, maybe we're going a very aggressive lineup. I don't know that yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think if you can pin your opponent on bringing Naga, I think you can run under and bring Quest and then ban, burn, and just go strictly aggro style and just kind of run under it. Put feet to the fire. You have this lineup. What are your 4 decks you're bringing?
Okay, probably in this situation, if I ban Shaman, I bring I probably into that lineup Mech Paladin. The Priest is up in the air. It could go either way, Boar or Naga. Shaman's going to be the Burn Shaman and probably the Control Warrior if I had to pick myself into this situation.
Interesting on the shaman ban. I had never in this. My mind immediately goes to either Paladin or Warrior. Just I played in the 5 seed, so most likely it's always going to be Naga Priest. So that kind of makes the decision a little bit simpler.
I think that's interesting. I think it. The Paladin is also one of those that if you expect, like, if you're trying to get pilot diff, for example, if that's what you think that you're the better pilot, I could see a Paladin ban because that it feels like it's fairly simple to play. It's not too overcomplicated. So decks like that, I think, maybe lend themselves to bans if you're trying to get a sort of pilot diff, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No, it 100% does. Absolutely. But at the top, you don't have that kind of luxury. Everyone is good.
Right. Yeah. So I think it does change some of that. The Boar Priest, if you're anticipating it, can be very impressive if you expect them to be a good pilot on that. So that could certainly be a ban in some situations. Although I haven't seen too many priest bans in Legacy. Mostly those Paladins, Shamans, Warriors, I think, are the most popular.
Yeah, to me, the Warrior ban is much like I spoke to earlier, the ladder shock, the ladder hate ban.
Yeah.
So maybe you just don't want to deal with it. You just say, no, I don't want to deal with all the armor, and then, the big turns, the impending doom that's just kind of there. And then definitely Burn Shaman. And I think Holy Paladin is just a solid deck all around. I mean, I agree, the strategy, especially if you're talking about pilot diff, I think, to me, Holy Paladin is a definite bring. If you know how to pilot it, you can survive pretty much anything, and you just have your outs. The thing about Boar Priest is the difference between someone that just knows how to play the deck and someone that's really good at it is 1 to 2 turns before going off, right? And those 1 to 2 turns are everything. And so even if they bring it, how well do they pilot it? How fast can they, basically go off? Is really what makes kind of the determining factor on the Boar Priest.
Yeah, absolutely. No, totally makes sense to me. I think we are still waiting on these players to get things sorted on their end. A couple of different client bugs, of course, come to be expected.
Yeah.
It's Sunday night. No one has anything to do. So they're here with us.
There's no NFL.
No NFL.
There is some basketball. There's some basketball going on.
That's true. That's true.
Some basketball, but we're chilling here. We're enjoying. You guys want to hear about some basketball out there while we're waiting for things to get started? I don't know how much more we can talk about this matchup before we get to see what we're looking at.
Oh, we got bands coming. So.
Oh, beautiful! Just in time. I was getting antsy over here.
Yeah, we started bringing basketball into it.
Desharmo's banning Shaman.
Okay,
yeah. Called it.
Shaman ban for Desharmo, so we'll not see Seabeak's Shaman.
And with that Shaman ban, go ahead.
Seabeak's banning Warrior.
There
you go.
We were both right.
Got them both. Yeah, I'm not too surprised by those choices. That does mean, I think, with that Shaman ban, we might see some of those more aggressive lists from Desharmo, maybe Mech Paladin, to try to get under some of those other decks. Maybe I think we might still see that Control Warrior, but there's always a hint. There's always a chance. I think into this lineup, maybe you're less interested in that Quest Warrior. It's more if you're trying to beat down Druid or things that are a little bit slower. But let's see once these players start ripping it. Yeah, what are you guys predicting here for those first brings? Do you think we're going to see the Shaman and Warrior, both players kind of seeming to not want to see the other? Maybe that's going to be a nod for the other one to say, okay, I'll bring the one that you think is the
Paladin Mirror.
That's what I'm exactly. Thinking. Paladin Mirror. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No.
You know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
So we're going to have Desharmo, the two first to spectate for our casters, and bottom of the screen for our viewers, and Seabeak will be at the top.
Oh, here we go. I'm seeing eyeballs.
Eyeballs.
I'm calling Paladin first for Seabeak. No, and
Shaman and Paladin. So yeah. I do not have an eyeball for Seabeak. I think they need to turn on their spectate here potentially. But it looks like it is going to be Burn Shaman here for Desharmo to start things off.
Which we expected. No surprise here. Opening hand, I mean, what are you looking for from the Burn Shaman? What's your preference?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You have a fire spell here for that multicaster potential later on. I don't think you're holding on to Bolner. You might toss all of these, but yeah, Mech Paladin. So a board-based deck. So this could really be lined up well here for Desharmo with that Paladin, or with the Shaman here. So definitely looking for your freezes, ways to cycle your deck to draw cards with that multicaster. I could see being kept, but yeah, Desharmo just saying these are all kind of awkward, not what I want to see, but finding a very awkward hand on the other end of it. So a little unfortunate there. Bioluminescence you want to be seeing later. And then same thing with Brukan and the Okani. Probably not going to be in here fast enough to make too much of a difference. You're going to see it counter a minion, though.
Yeah, but these two, the Sleep Breaker back-to-back into the Wild Paw is a definite recovery. Puts minion on the board, slows everything down. What you want to see. And then from Seabeak, let's see. Yeah.
Interesting order there from Seabeak. Oh, so yeah, not going to make the trade, actually. Going to force the trade on the other side. I was wondering if we would see the trade for the Divine Shield there from Seabeak there to buff the Click Clocker before playing it.
Yeah, I definitely think there's... Yeah, because you have... the one damage to the board spell. Totally blanking for Shaman. It's not going to come up.
What's which card are you talking about?
Shaman
the summon a 1/1 or summon a 1 cost minion. Yeah.
That thing.
That thing, the thing with the name that we can't think of.
Do you Wild Paw? Yeah. Do you Wild Paw here, or are you School Teacher?
Yeah, it's an interesting situation here. I think actually it's Wild Paw. I think most of the time, but certainly could consider the School Teacher is pretty awkward though into that 6/4.
Yeah.
Innie actually coming out here very early. The coin Innie here gives that 6/4 rush. Wind Fury able to buff the hand. Once again, only 2 minions to be able to buff, but two pretty good minions to buff. On the other side, Desharmo having to look for a spell here that might be able to do something. Tidal Surge could clear off that Wind Fury Mooncatcher. I think it's going to have to be that.
And it gives him some life back. So, gives life back, clears the minion, just another turn to get to
that
a
was
point
a
where
different
you start freezing
spell.
board.
Could have had to Wind Chill that 6/4. So big pickup there.
And I like the chain of the Wild Paw going in. You got a Cavern to follow up with, so you're just constantly putting freezing minions on the board. You got Brucon in hand for down the road, so looks like it has enough to kind of stall it out, but definitely needs to draw the elementals to freeze the board. And then on the other side,
here's an interesting play. You could trade the Click Clocker into the Stag Guard, and then get the Samura would be buffed to the 3. It could do a full clear that way by trading into the 5/4. Instead, we're leaving up the Frozen Stag Guard. We do still have the Divine Shield and the Click Clocker, but I don't think it's as worth it, honestly. I'm surprised we didn't see that trade from Seabeak.
I agree. You want to make sure you clear the board and not leave minions up. Uses the Wind Chill, draws the card.
There's the Maelstrom Portal. That's what we were talking about. And with that pickup, we could see an early Bioluminescence to try to fight back on the board if these Divine Shields are dealt with. I
think it's a good buy move. I think spending it early is the correct play, just to clear the board if you can. You don't need to hold. You have another one in the deck.
Right now, we've played so far Wind Chill and Geyser, so the multicast are pretty good to start cycling that deck once again. We have the Maelstrom Portal. We have the Bioluminescence. We could probably come back on this board here, and those Divine Shields are running out.
They are. You do have the long-term value of another Cavern to play next turn. Not a lot of threat and chance to just come back. And you don't.
Yeah, interesting. I'm curious about that choice for Seabeak. You're anticipating that the minion's getting countered, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which one is more valuable here? I feel like the one that gives you, I don't know. I guess if you think your opponent's gonna play a freeze on your board, maybe you want the bigger minion and not wider board. But then now you're playing a hero power. I don't know. This is a weird choice here for me from Seabeak.
There's really not a threat to really buff it up too much. You got only 2 cards in hand.
We can get 3 spell damage here. So we can clear most of this with the Bioluminescence. If you hero power Bioluminescence,
yep.
You get that 3 spell damage. It is awkward with the Divine Shield on the Mooncatcher, but you can clear everything else.
And I think it's good enough, right? I think if you're able to get it down to just 1 minion on the board, you're going to Brucon next turn. Yeah, I think that's the play.
Yeah, and it looks like Desharmo agreeing here, gets the Bioluminescence off. Maelstrom Portal, 4 damage. Sorry, you have to...
Yeah, it's math.
It's math. Okay, so this way, able to trade and freeze off the 6/4 if you want to. Could go face, though, with that taunt in the way. Does look like it's going to be the trade, though. And pretty good idea as we see that Cariel's going to clear off this board.
I think the difference between that 14 life, you just be safe than sorry, get your turns, freeze the minion, go Brucon, get some life back, and then do you go for taunts, of course, and taunt and heal, or clear the board?
Yeah, with that 6/1, I think you might just have to clear the board and maybe play. Oh, that's tough. Do you heal or taunt then?
Well, okay, so
so instead, it looks like going for the Bolner into the multicaster to just draw here. There's not many cards that kill you, right? Yeah. If you're able to clear off the Mooncatcher with the Lightning Bolt or something else you draw, you're only looking at, the only way you lose is exactly Smite getting hero powered out of, however many minions are in the hand.
They're Guardian. I was going to
So,
say
yeah.
all that and no Guardian. That's good, but I think a good choice, knowing he has Lightning Bolt if he doesn't get any other
Ooh,
burn.
hits the Annoyatron. That's exactly what you're hoping for.
But I think from Desharmo's point of view, you now have 3 turns where you can just freeze the board entirely and not really have to worry about it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So,
We might see it at this point, though, that Brucon, just to
yeah,
try to get the heal, get the survival for those couple of turns.
Mm-hmm. And this is a heal taunt, right? Heal yourself and put 2/3s on the
Yeah,
board.
I think so.
Yep. You see the taunts and easy heal.
Hits the fireball.
It's always nice. I mean,
Now into the invocation.
Which is good for clearing out the divine shields in case they don't want to,
Yeah, that's a pretty good pickup there in that Leviathan, though. We'll be able to push a little bit more damage this way. Hits it with the blessing as well. Does make it an even bigger threat. But like you said, we have those Snowfall Guardians we can kind of just keep playing now.
Yeah,
Are
I
we
think
going
your
to see
Snowfall
this
Guardian.
trade? Are we going to see the trade into the Bolner, or do you have to just apply that
I
that
think
damage phase? And yep, it is going to be traded off.
Yeah, I don't think you leave it up. I mean, that's a kill threat if it stays on the board, especially with this deck. It's school teachers and students and all the shenanigans you can do with it. I think you definitely have to remove it.
So now could Snowfall Guardian Hero Power does clear off the Claw if you want this turn, but doesn't let you do much else. So maybe we'll even see Wild Paw and Snowfall here instead, just to keep building that board.
Yeah, I like the wild Paw into Guardian. More minions on board, more control on the board. Next turn, then you have the ability to, if you want to bring Brand into play, because you're kind of freezing the board from there on out, and then you can school teacher. You gotta make sure you have enough space, but it should be okay.
Yeah, well, you also got to be careful to not use your battle cries before you get the freezes you need off. But yeah, so actually going to be Bran into the Snowfall Guardian here to get as big as possible. On the other side, still no Smite. That's really the out that we're looking for Seabeak at this point with all the freezes that are going to be coming down. So I think it has to be Bannerman and hope that you find this Smite here to buff.
Oh, absolutely. Dig, draw, make everything big.
Oh, Seafloor Savior could find you. And does hit the buff as well. Ooh. So this is going to make something very big. Oh, misses out on the smite, but does hit a nice big taunt that maybe could help survive a little bit further into the game.
Yeah, not many minions left from the mech side, so no reason to radar. Oh, Merle, that. No, but if you
make this trade here just to get rid of the
taunt double
here.
Mutanus. So
double Mutanus would be pretty powerful here.
Now you don't have another freeze.
And no minions left in the hand. That is going to eat up both of those. We don't have another freeze available, but it is the move here for Desharma saying, I'm going to win next turn. Look at these massive minions. What are you going to do? Good for you. You make one big taunt. Let's see if it's going to be enough. It is going to eat up 2 attacks at the least. And we don't have the right hero power to clear off these divine shields. So might slow things down on the other end. And of course, we also have the weapon is still equipped here for the Paladin. So a little awkward, but now...
School teacher to see if you can get some spell to just do damage to remove. Yep, here we go. Now you got 2 chances to get something that has some sort of.
Yeah, I like the school teacher for sure to start things off. You then still have the bioluminescence if you want to use that to further clear some stuff with the scalding. And you can also weave in a hero power if you find terrible stuff from your school teacher. Instead, we're going to Mutanus again. I don't know about that. I don't know what you were hoping to hit.
I think he's just so scared of the smite still
The
being left
smite.
in hand.
Yeah, I suppose so. It does mean we're holding off a turn for the big finish, and we're making a lot of trades. So I think we're probably going to see this hero power come out as well to just protect.
Bioluminescence to remove the 7/7.
Oh, are we not hero powering first? Are we going to play Cookie? Is that the hope? I'm interested in the choice here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
No,
why did we not bio? Just bad order. Okay,
Well,
it happens.
That's the rope effect. Got enough time, you just think about just enough to get the job done, and then just misses out on the extra 2.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by that macaw there, to be honest. I think that school teacher was perfect. Like you said, we had the setup. I guess we were just worried about space, but if you don't get the right Nagalings, you just hero power like we did in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was maybe a suboptimal play there from Desharmo, but might not matter here.
Not the best value on Bubblebot.
No. And Seabeak just saying, I'm done. I'm never going to deal with these minions. I don't know if it was totally over. We still had the hero card to protect us from, crazy damage. Maybe we could have slowly chipped away, but Seabeak not seeing the lines and saying, okay, let's move on. And that means that Shaman does get through here for Desharmo. And we just have the Paladin and Priest left on that side for Seabeak. Still the 3 decks remaining there besides the Shaman. So what do you expect here from Desharmo? Are we going to see the Paladin or Priest? Knowing that you've seen the Mech Paladin, do you think that Desharmo is going to feel a little bit more confident with that Priest? Or do you think it's going to be going for that mirror with those Paladins potentially?
It depends on what if he brought Mech Paladin, then it's just a mirror. If he brought Naga does well into Mech Paladin. Sometimes it just can outrun it. So I think he can bring either one. Just depends on which Paladin he brought and which priest he brought. Knowing that it's Mech Paladin on the other side gives him the extra kind of information. I'm going to go Priest just to make a choice.
And we get that Priest mirror here. So both players saying, okay, I'm moving on from that.
Yep, Naga.
Looks like both players with that Naga Priest. Well, I guess not 100% sure for Desharmo, but...
Hey, I would bet it's Naga Priest. You're right, because the card draw, and you never know, but...
I mean, sometimes you do. You definitely run Handmaiden and Board Priest as well, so that's not necessarily clear. And you also run the Shadow Word Devourer, now it's clear. Now it's clear. They're both Wig Priests, but there was still a chance.
Yeah, there is. And then here, do you coin? Yeah, I think you coin out the Queen's Guard to get a 3/4 on the board, and then activate your Wig. And if you do nothing, you can always thrive next turn. But getting the 3/4 out early, I think, is super powerful as Priest. And
yeah, absolutely. And it looked like that is going to be the play here for Desharmo. We'll have the follow-up turn. We have the Wig to follow up the following turn. If we want, we can also Thrive to look for that other Wig. Pretty good start here for Desharmo. On the other side, going to have to just use that Amalgam of the Deep to get that Serpent Wig active and start cycling and contesting the board. A little awkward, though. Really, especially in this matchup, if you're worried about these sort of value trades, you almost always want to get the Wig off the same turn you play the minion. Now it's kind of awkward. Next turn we can play the Treasure Guard, but we can't play the Wig on it again. And then the following turn we can play the Hexen, but we can't play the Wig again. It's just we're never getting the opportunity to actually get the value. On the other side, Desharmo finding a few options here, not hitting the Wig, but could have gone for the Thrive to thin the deck a little bit. I'm surprised we didn't see that. Went for the Bless instead. I think maybe with the Hexen in hand is the argument for keeping that Bless. Could pull one of their strong minions and then buff your Hexen as well.
No, yeah, I agree. I think thinning your deck may have been the play. You can always get blessed later on, but having 2 wigs in hand is
Oh, this is
just
going to
super
be pretty
powerful.
nice. You can Slither Spear into the second wig to make the trade, or the... Okay, this works too. I like getting Slither Spears down early, but I also can see the argument for a 3/2 that's guaranteed that 3 damage instead of a 1/3 that... Or I guess it would be... Yeah, 2/3, but it would go down back to a 1/3 on your turn.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to Hexen play, making sure you don't Hexen too early and kind of a response Hex.
Yeah.
That's kind of the game you always play, but I think you're forced into it. I mean, from Sipik's side is, you just don't have the minions in hand. You don't have the board, and this is the danger when you're playing Naga Priestess. If you don't have board, you're always a turn behind. It's really hard to overcome that, to kind of catch back up. There's no reset. Hexen is really your only play to kind of 2-for-1, if you will. But gets the wig. So now he
It does find the second wig, yeah. So that's going to start applying a little bit more pressure. But again, playing a Naga without actually being able to play a wig to follow up, and now we don't have any Nagas in hand.
And
we don't really have minions in hand on the other side. If this is dealt with, this is going to be tough. And we see the Handmaiden's just going to reload the hand here for Desharmo. Another wig can come down.
Do you wig the 3/2 to clear it off, keep both minions on board, and keep the 5/5 healthy?
Yeah. I don't know. That's an interesting argument. It's certainly, I think that is going to be the case here. But
I like this. More minions.
Yeah, this definitely feels.
Priest can't deal with a lot of minions. He can deal with one big one. Has a real hard time dealing with a lot of them. So I think going wider is definitely the play here.
Absolutely. Forcing out the Hexen here now. Gonna go on the 5/5. How does the interaction work, by the way, when it's your own minion you steal back? Does anyone know?
I don't know. This is a good answer. It's a 1/7. But does have the shard, so do you steal and just shard? You got a lot of answers in hand. You play Treasure Guard because you know they don't have Hexen.
Yeah, there's interesting options here. I mean, the Hexen is available if you want. But yeah, like you said, maybe that Treasure Guard is strong enough here. Could combo with that with the Bless for a 7/7.
I think he's just going to Bless. He's going to make it big and try to Bless to clear off the 1/7. But does he have enough with Radiant? Activates, plays Elemental. But if you're going to do that, why wouldn't you play Elemental beforehand? And dumps it.
Wow, so dumping it just to get the Bless to trade and get it back. I mean, I could see it. You're trying to win the board here early. You get the trade. You get your minion back. You've won the board. It's going to be hard for them to come back. Yeah, no, I like this the more I think about it. Yeah, you do lose the wig, and that hurts, but.
And sometimes I think, you get caught in that trap of you keep a hold of it for too long, but then you see the punish here with the shard. But really,
pretty powerful follow-up here. We're one. Yeah, there we go. So able to get the Handmaiden off as well. Pretty strong comeback here from Seedbeak. Finds the Samuro and another two Nagas to start or to continue cycling. Things have shifted a little bit here.
Yeah, definitely. You Hexen it to steal, to remove the threat, clear the board, but you still have to worry about the Samuro with the Bless combo to clear your board. But I still think going wide here is the play. Card draw? I think you Treasure Guard for the card draw, right?
Yeah, I think so as well. Especially when you don't have a wig to keep comboing things. Yeah, that is really going to slow us down. So, Seabeak does have the opportunity to potentially come back if we find that Bless, like you said. Right now, not in the hand, but does have a couple of wigs that could be used to get a pretty nice clear. So I think we might see that play.
And does have the one drop to activate. Has the one drop to activate the wigs again. So
yeah, has the one drop. So is going to actually get that full clear, get the 4-7 back, and I think it's suddenly switched to Seabeak's opportunity here with that huge Samuro turnaround. Yeah, gets that beautiful clear here. Keeps their minion at a 4-4. Another wig coming through. And now really we need the same thing the other way, but no Samuro to be found, no wigs in the hand. This is a tough situation here for Desharmo. Do you ever go for the school teacher? Is that your out? Is there any other out? You could cycle the shard.
I think you may play double treasure and then shard to just reset the board. No, that doesn't do enough.
Yeah, this is not looking good here for Desharmo.
I think he's going to play the shard and then double treasure fed.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, reasonable play. Removes a lot of those wigs. We do know there's still 2 in the hand, and as we can see, there is now 2 Nagas as well. So that is going to be just 4 Serpent Wigs can come down here. And it's going to be tough. It's still tough to come back here for Desharmo, but again, just waiting for any answer to this board. Samuro would be huge in combination with the Bless. Right now, we are waiting, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to what do you get off school teacher? You have to find some good value there. Oh, and there's another one. So more chances to find value. The one thing without Bless, there's really not a lot of pressure.
Oh, Thrive could find the Bless, but again, no
Samuro.
No Samuro. Yep. Goes for the Serpent Wig instead to just try to get the cycling going that way. Crushed Claw can come out here. Instead, going to go for the school teacher. Yeah, there's another Bless and a Death. The 5-13 can be dealt with here. I think it has to be the Death.
I think you take the Death because you don't have Samuro. Yeah, you don't have the Samuro in hand, so
yeah, you can play the Serpent Wig, play the Death. Feel pretty good about that situation.
Yep, I like this play. It's an answer, and and you just clear the board down. Just make it smaller.
Wow, and just in time there for Desharmo, just in time, clearing the board. On the other side, not what you want to be seeing here. You have no Nagas to get these cycling again. Pretty awkward. You don't want to be dumping these Serpent Wigs at this point.
Yeah, no activators, and the big thing is not having any minions really above 5 health to kind of start buffing up to make it out of reach. They're just still too small.
Yeah, do you ever have to use a Bless here on the Elemental, the Radiant Elemental or something to get this trade and then, trade the 3-2 and the 1-1 into the 5-4 and the 1-3 into the 1-1 just to get on the board here? It looks like that is going to be the case.
I think you have to keep the board. I mean, as a game plan, you're relying on top decking from here on out, which, you have to do either way. Because you're not going to get there with just 6 damage every turn. We definitely see Handmaiden is going to refill the hand, so I think you drop that first, see what you draw.
Yeah, we've had a lot of back and forth here. It looked like Desharmo had it early, then Seabeak able to take it back with that Samuro, but now with a dead hand and Desharmo with that Handmaiden, it's going to be looking like a Desharmo favorite here at the moment.
Another Death to clear out the 5-5, another clean pickup. And back and forth Naga battle, and it looks like Desharmo. What can you draw from Seabeak's point of view that kind of, if they run 2 shards, but most decks don't.
Yeah, there is a chance at 2 shards, but even that, you're really struggling here. That's not what you want to be seeing. Probably just going to have to come down here with the double wig and get some sort of trade, but I don't know that there's anything in the deck that can get you back here. You've already played your Hexen. You've already played your Samuro.
He does have to do this. Yep, and then he clears off 3-2. It's a wet noodle fight at this point until we see another Bless.
These noodles are getting bigger and bigger every turn.
And now we're going to refill the hand. 3 cards is always good. Another treasure guard. Amalgam. Another Devour. Definitely Deshaun's turned the corner. I think he has full control of this.
Yeah, I think this is really potentially the turn to set up the end of the game here for Desharmo. Going to continue just making these value trades, not even let Seebeek find any purchase on the board.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Naga, yeah.
Yes.
Baba Naga coming out. This can now go face. The Naga can clear off the Queen's Guard, and this is a board that's setting up here lethal the following turn here for Desharmo.
The noodles have gotten big.
Big noodles.
Oh, school teacher. Now, what can you get off school teacher?
What kind of, I guess you're looking for a shard, but not able to find it. Death is found, though. That does allow the 6/11 to be traded off. Is that enough?
Unless there's another shard, then you take the Thrive to find the shard. But it looks like you're going for. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's got to be the Death. You play your Wigs, you play your Naga, you play some more Wigs. I guess the question is, do you play all the Wigs or you play one and heal?
Pick me! Be gone.
I guess how desperate are you for that health here?
I think you heal. Any way to draw more cards. And sometimes it's just having more life.
There's the bless, though, and that is going to be the end here. Just a matter of Desharmo putting some numbers together here, but it is inevitable with that Wig, with that Bless, with the Shadow Word Devours. It's going to get real juicy in here. Something's getting big.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, what does Desharmo want to buff? Which minion here is going to take all of that?
Take the 4, right? Yeah, the 4. Whatever has the highest health at this point.
Yeah. Devour, not even going to play the Wig, just has it there with the Bless. And that is going to be the game. Going to Desharmo in the mirror. That is a crucial win there. And now Desharmo, Shaman and Priest through. Only the Paladin left to try to take down Seebeek. What's your answer here for Seebeek? You don't have the Shaman to try to win via freezing a board if it's Mech Paladin. Maybe it's Warrior here. For Seebeek to try to answer the Paladin. Maybe it has enough. If it's not Mech Paladin, if it's Holy Paladin, it might have that staying power and the ability to win in the late game. If it's Mech Paladin, maybe you have enough board clears. The Divine Shields can be really difficult, though.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you have. I mean, bringing Warrior always seems like a good idea. I mean, if you have it up, I think it's just super strong. But you're right. If it's the one thing about Mech Paladin, it can control the board very well. You just need to make sure you remove the threats on board, and that's what it does. So I think both those are actually the good options. Right, it is Mech Warrior, Mech Paladin, because we saw it already. I think you bring, if it is Mech Paladin, I think it's play. Yep.
So yeah, just potentially a mirror here. Finley mirror as well. And it looks like a deck mirror. Both players with what looks to be a Mech Paladin. There is a Viper in this list, though, that could give it the advantage for Desharmo in the mirror inevitably
do you keep it?
Cariel comes down. I don't think you keep it. That's turn 7. That's when you want it to come down. Maybe it's good enough early on into if you're really falling behind and they have the jewel kit, like maybe Rust Rock comes down earlier, but I think you really do save it for Cariel most of the time.
Yeah. I always ask the question because that's always the card you want in. And it's like you see it, you're so tempted just to keep it to make sure you have it. It's the Pit Trap.
Yeah, the Viper Pit Trap. The Pit Viper Trap?
Let's go Pit Viper. I like it. Pit Viper Trap.
That's
heavy.
Thing. Pit Viper. Hits the Righteous Protector, so it does have a 1-drop on both sides.
I like having the Jewel Kit early, though. That is always solid. But there's really not, decent draws. You've got Amalgams to dig for more creatures, but doesn't have the value of the Jewel Kit.
Okay, well, this is going to buff the Mooncatcher for sure.
Initializing descent.
Savior coming down, finds the Cariel.
Ooh.
Or, I mean, it might be early for Cariel, but having it in the
Gorilla
bottom and
Bot
the
is on curve.
Leviathan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Gorilla Bot is on curve. The other two, though, you really don't want to be at the bottom of your deck when you need them. But Desharmo's
I think he
saying,
takes it.
I need to curve out. I need to win that way. Let's make it happen.
And I think there's knowing that you don't have Cariel, you're drawn into it. You can actually play around it and find a way. And I like this, just trying to get control early. You just, oh, that's an easy clear though. But you get the other mech. Ooh.
Wow.
Mothership?
Yeah, taking the mothership.
Double motherships. And then the follow-up turn, so you have this turn 4, depending on what he draws. Gonna take that, takes the Savior. Yep, takes the Savior. Drops it, doesn't trade. It's interesting because it gives Desharmo a really good turn 4 where he didn't have one before. So I like this.
Yeah, interesting options here. I think the Savior might have to be the pick, though. We know it's at the bottom of the deck, and those are some really powerful cards. You might not get the bonus of buffing a minion, but I mean, I guess you could if you go Leviathan.
But I think, yeah, definitely grabbing the Cariel. Oh,
another seafloor available, but instead going to keep the Leviathan, so I think that's going to be 100% the Savior is going to be pulling Cariel if we did pull the Leviathan that way. But now we sort of have a decent curve here for Desharmo. We have that coin Mothership into Mothership, back-to-back turns. Seabeak applying a lot of pressure, though, in the meantime.
Doesn't take the Leviathan? He was hovering Bannerman. Okay, good. Takes the Leviathan for his turn 7. Doesn't have a strong turn 6, but I think that's okay. It's at 14. And here we go. Coin Mothership is easy. Oh, no.
Really? Not a coin Mothership here to clear off the 6-4. Instead, going for guaranteeing that coin Cariel next turn, it looks like.
Yep, it does play
or
Viper.
Actually plays the Viper to just have it in hand right now. I'm not sure I agree with that, but
definitely agree. That's a lot of damage on the board.
And now you're dead. We see the Battlemaster available, and that's going to be lethal. I really am surprised by that play from Desharmo. Like, we had a way, like, you definitely want the Cariel here soon, but you could not leave that much on the board, and you had the Mothership to clear off one more minion there, potentially give you some taunts, something else in the way. Yeah, I mean, I see the argument. You know, if we didn't do it then, it would have been, 3 turns from now because we would have been Mothership into Mothership, but that might have been enough to stabilize and not have to Cariel, right away. So, interesting.
Yeah, a little greedy. You can say maybe a little greedy, but, he's up 2 games, so I think it's okay. And now we see, and I think this is an uphill battle, I think, for Naga Priest.
Yeah, absolutely. With this hand, though, the start not looking too great for Desharmo. Does have the Jewel Kit, no Divine Shield minions yet. Radar Detector also kind of slow, but going to hold on to it to try to get that big hand in the resources. Yeah, no Wig. That's a big one. Prismatic Jewel Kit coming out.
Wigless.
Never want to go out wigless. Yeah, bald priest.
Ooh.
Okay, Radar Detector picking up only 2. That is pretty unlucky. That's as bad as it gets, right? Like, how many? What is at the bottom? Radar Detector, Cariel, and like the other another Jewel Kit. Like, what are the other 3 minions? Or the other 3 cards? That's wild. Oh, you could. I guess it only picks up mech, so you could have. We did see the Argent Protectors, right? So it could be those as well, or Bannerman could be down there. But still, pretty unlucky pulling only 2 minions, especially when you're holding onto that card. Does get a buff on the Amalgam maybe to try to start fighting for this board. Instead, going to go for the Savior. We know there's no mechs down there. Oh, the mechs have found their way. What happened? Does it shuffle your deck, the detector? Oh, it does. Then shuffle your deck. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was going to say.
That makes sense. Okay. I was like, hold up. We know there weren't mechs. Now there's mechs.
The danger here, though, is if Priest gets too big too quickly, he can maintain control of the board. You need something that's responsive that can challenge this board quickly. If not, it'll just get too far ahead. And then Baba Yaga's
Baba
here.
Naga is a decent pickup here to try to fight for that board.
I do like the Baba Naga play.
Zola's
a
Greed
little bit more
is Zola.
value. Yeah, the Zola's a little bit more value.
I don't know. I like
one.
controlling the board. In 4/4 body is not to be laughed at. This is a big.
Yeah, the one thing I was wondering is, like, do you ever Shadow Word Devour there to kill off the Click Clocker without proccing the Divine Shield buff? We didn't do it in the end for Seabeak, but just curious if that's ever worth it for just not getting the proc on the Jewel Kit. I don't know. I mean, they've had enough buffs here at this point that maybe it's kind of moot, but...
Yeah, it's one of those things. Is it worth the one to save later on just to get your minion big enough? It definitely is a thought here. And then Holy Smite or this has to be Holy Smite.
I think it has to be Holy Smite. You
Call
just
the
need to
Grave.
fight for the board here for
Be
Seabeak.
risky.
Yeah, Call the Grave. I mean, is there a Death Rattle minion that it looks like we went for Call the Grave? We're
Whoa!
going for the hope. Just the absolute hope that we find a good Death Rattle minion.
Pure copium. Pure copium
What
here.
Death Rattle minion are we hoping for here?
Hexian.
That.
There you go.
Oh man. And you have to have enough mana to play it. It's also like to get the Death Rattle to go off. What are, I guess, like explosive sheep? I don't even know.
I'm not.
No time.
I'm curious to see it
I'm
in
shocked,
action when this
actually.
does happen.
That's pretty cool.
We do see, Bannerman here buffing up Samuro, gives it a chance to clear the board. I mean, I think this is the danger, right? So this is where you did not want to be as the Priest, where there's a substantial board.
Yeah, now the
And it's just,
Seafloor Savior is going to pull that Sunken Mooncatcher and make just giant Mooncatchers next turn that the Priest will have no way of dealing with. I think it has to be the Mooncatcher. I mean,
it has. I was gonna say maybe
like the Bubble Bot's
Bot,
good, but like,
but not as good. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, Shard's bad either way.
Here it comes, boys. Call the Grave. What are we getting?
At 4,
we did pick up the Shard though to slow this down a little bit. But yeah, let's see what's the Grave got for us. Let's call the Grave.
this is just such an awkward turn. And again, having that Zola is just sitting in hand, not really doing much right now. Does reset the board.
Yeah, so maybe just gonna have Samuro clear here.
And the Devour does have value.
Nope. Okay, so gonna maybe go for the Devour instead.
Nope.
You are leaving up the Mooncatcher, the 4-1 Mooncatcher though. And now playing the Call of the Grave at the end when you don't even get the value of the Death Rattle triggering potentially?
The boar.
I mean, Disciple though. Disciples could be really good here. A little surprised by that, the way that play went. But yeah, it is a clear. But the Call of the Grave at the end of the turn was interesting. Could have gotten the Death Rattle trigger before anything else happened if you were going to play it, right?
Yeah, at least give yourself that out. As Desharmo, I mean, does the 1/9 scare you enough to where you feel like you have to clear it out, or at least get it down to 1, right? So,
no way to clear it out. I think means you got to play the Mooncatchers to try to just win next turn. Nope. Desharmo's saying I can't even afford to wait. I don't care. I'll play 2 big things anyway.
That's the fear of the going off turn of just you feel like you may take 25. It may just be out of reach, right? If it gets too big, then it doesn't matter how big.
I just didn't think we had enough mana, even with a Radiant Elemental. Like, we would have to play so many wigs. We haven't seen a single wig and the bless. I didn't see it happening, but Desharmo seeing red, saying, I don't want to risk it. I can win this by just holding off and making sure I get the clears, the clean kind of trades. Maybe I don't win next turn, but I can win in just a few. And now debating between a taunt Divine Shield or a bigger minion here. Maybe also just thinking about the Shard of the Nara. We only saw one of those last Priest game, and
I think
often there's only one.
Yeah, there only runs one typically. And maybe it's, here to just do hero power. Yep.
Yeah, I guess. It's better value on your mana, but probably not going to make any difference here. If anything, another 1/1's just giving the whatever minions on the other side an extra health with a Devour, right? I don't even think the 1/1's putting any pressure at all. I don't think you need to hero power in this matchup, especially at this point.
But if it never dies, it's infinite value. It's always on board.
That's right.
It's a great mana spin. I mean, so from here, you do have the Disciple just to buy another turn. I don't know if it buys another turn.
You have Hexen as well if you want to try to steal something that way. Although the taunt's not quite going to do enough for you. There is another Samuro in hand, actually, with the Bless. Can't clear off the Mooncatchers, though. But you could
can
play
into. Is there a way that you could have thrived into a wig to? I don't know.
I don't know if we had enough mana to do it. Maybe if you played Radiant into the Thrive. This is pretty good, though. It clears off everything but the Divine Shields, but the 10/8s. It's a lot of pressure, but it's not quite lethal.
But, if you're that scared, I think you have to clear out the 8/7 so that you're down one minion, so it does remove it and you're not taking the damage. Mm-hmm. Deshaun's been playing the trading game, so I think search here. Oh. Yeah. I think you slam that. And this is a clear.
Just gonna slam in here, get the clear, keep one of those 10/8s alive.
But now you're going to see the Hexen come down. And no answer in hand yet, but not exactly that much lethal coming back the other way. Radiant here to make. That's a commitment.
Yeah, this is going to be the Hexen here. Going to be able to take this.
And you want to make your Hexen as big. But you can't do anything with it? Oh, not what you want to see.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see. That is going to be a big minion, though. And going to try to get this Hexen to give the trade back. I think it's going to get its value, though, here before it dies.
We've already seen one Bless go, so we know there's only one left. There's not big health on the other side except for the minion that already has 10. And the danger is if you buff it, it could easily come back the other direction. We do see the Treasure Guard. Make it big. But is there any way you can protect? Oh, yeah. If you put down an Undying Disciple, I think it protects.
No. Undying Disciple.
No, it won't. Well, yeah, it does, because now the wig, it's out of reach. So
yeah, with the wig, it's out of reach, but instead, going to go this direction. Get the trade off this way. That way, even if they are able to clear up the Hexen eventually, there won't be a minion to take back. So utilizing that one first to get those trades, and suddenly Seabeak is kind of still in this.
This is definitely possible. Ooh, and then get Queen of Shard, kind of get that value.
Yeah, this could be a Seabeak win here for sure. Restaurant, not what you want to be seeing here. Gonna just probably see that traded away. Finds another amalgam.
It's a chance.
Thief or Savior or Gorillabot, both solid option.
Gorillabot to dig. Oh,
Leviathan, another option to dig later on. I'm surprised we didn't see a hero power yet. Really kind of banking on getting a 2-drop or something to play. I'm surprised we didn't see the hero power before we played the Gorillabot or the amalgam. At least the Gorillabot. Like the amalgam, maybe not, but I think the Gorillabot for sure.
I think he was worried about what options he would have, so he wanted to keep the mana open just in case, and you valued that more than just the extra stats on board. But we'll see. He ended up wasting it and lost the value, but it's understandable. Not a really big threat here, but the Leviathan is going to be big. And it's going to see some good trades. Undying Disciple looks good here.
Yeah, I think we still have Samuro in the deck here for Desharmo as well. Or did we? No, we used Samuro already, didn't we?
We used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no really clean clear that I can think of.
And you're at 10% to draw. The other Bless. So, and then with Maiden in hand, you up those odds. So you're about 2 more turns left before Bless is in hand, roughly.
Kinds of chip damage.
Yeah, chipping away, already down to 9. That's lethal on board. Mothership picked up. Gotta, I think, be the Leviathan here to clear off the most things. Mothership doesn't even die in any trades, so.
What's the correct order here? He's 7-5.
Interesting, okay.
Taking the least amount of damage to face. I can see it.
Then clear off just the Hexen with that, and.
Ooh, Bubble Bot. Nice.
Yeah, I think it might have to be the Bubble Bot. Does get to draw it here and clear off another, the 3-4, I guess, yeah.
But it's not enough, though.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage showing right now. Serpent Wig cycled a couple of times. Would just do it, I believe, as long as you make everything odd. Yeah. Oh no, wrong one. You want the minions to be odd, right? Because then you do 2. So if they went to 3, 3, that would have been 2, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we could have. So now it's 5. It does 3. Yeah, we're not. Now it only does 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe that was Miss Lethal.
He should.
Oh, okay. No, yes, you can still find the lethal. You can still get it. But it was nearly missed. Really, in this situation, you want to be going for odd numbers to deal the most damage. So those wigs, not the best placement there for CV, but able to get over the top anyway. Finding that exact lethal.
Now?
And that is going to be Game 5, and I unfortunately have to leave you both here for Game 5 as I have my very own match here coming up very shortly.
Good luck in that match, sir.
Thank you. Our team has already been devastated, so stakes are low for me. You know, it could be a fun one.
Just no show, buddy. It's all good. They know you're casting right now, so that's fine.
This is important stuff.
This is important stuff. Game 5, it's our favorite thing.
Yep.
I have to unfortunately miss out today. I'm sure you guys will do it justice. It is going to be Paladin versus Warrior. This is an interesting one. Good luck. Enjoy. I'll be keeping the stream live on my side channel here while I play.
Perfect.
So I'll see everything as well.
Awesome.
Good luck.
See you
Good
later.
luck, buddy. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It looks like we got a control-ish Warrior, possibly.
Yeah. Well, it's school teachers. Yeah, I mean, we don't know the finishing package, right? We don't know if it's the full control or if it's that charge finishing package. Both have seen a lot of play. I think, the mindset of just removing everything, giving them nothing, but there's the answer.
Well, definitely control.
and not the start you want to see, right? No,
No.
no from the depths, and from Deshoma's side, early drops, or
Click
definitely
clack. Yep.
much more aggressive. Click clack in the amalgam into the Mooncatcher is a already good curve on hand, and then you got the coin mothership if you wanted to rush it. But the thing is, I didn't even see the from the depths.
Yeah,
Right?
it just came
Definitely
in. Yep.
from the depths with with the Finley in hand is like what you like to see from Seabeak's side. But
Yep. Do you go for a automaton or you go with a click clocker again? Because explosive's not gonna do much right now.
I think I hung. Where are they at? Uh-oh.
So click
Oh,
clocker was taken.
okay, I'm gonna.
Restart the client.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop.
From the depths was just played with shield block, shield shatter, and shield slam are the options, and they chose shield block.
Which I think is a good play because
Yeah.
you want to make sure you just buy time, draw cards.
Armor up and
Yep.
zero cost shield block for a card. Ooh, Rokara falling into hand. Couple turns away.
You like to have that for the big removal turn.
Yep.
Activates. There we go.
Sharmo missing the little bit of buffs that are helpful, but
Initializing descent.
They're just going wide
quick
and
pick. What do you pick?
that was super quick. I don't know.
Mooncatcher again. Yep.
Easy pick. And now not really. There's nothing really to coin into, right? So I mean, there's kind of just saving the coin. There's not really a big rush. He's going to dump his hands, get rid of all this heavy stuff, and get the value.
Ooh, there's a nice shield shatter, shield block, and school teacher at 1. Wow. Oh, there's a lava gorger. I never saw that. Yep.
Yeah. Lava Gorge is really nice because it just additional value. Ooh, from the depths again?
Depths, yeah.
And then here, dredging
Rokara
super
again.
value turn.
There you go.
Yep.
Pick me.
Easy picks.
Now the thing is here, I mean, you have to have kind of two answers, right? He only has one answer to the board. You always, as a control, you kind of want to have two answers in hand. And right now, you only see that one. And some lists only run that one brawl. I wonder if you put in two brawls in anticipation of the lineup, but typically they only run one.
I don't think he wants to use the shield. Yeah, I was going to say, shield shatter right now would be a little bit of a waste. Kill
Now
everything
there's
on
a
the
board here.
Yeah.
Now do you want to just play the value that's in your hand? You play the Savior, you play the Mooncatcher, and then coin out the Leviathan, or you coin Mothership here. Yeah, I don't think you do that because you have an inefficient next play. I like this.
Good choice. Samaru would be good.
Yeah, I think Samaru. Well, I mean, how many minions do you have to worry about Samaru for, right?
True.
Nixie comes down, right? Like but there's really not any other minions you need to Samaru.
Yeah. What a rough hand for Seabeak. Or Seabeak.
Pops the shield.
Yep. Just get
gonna,
rid of what you can.
Do you follow with you just dump the whole hand, clear the board, and then I think you just play Mothership. And Mothership is good here because it leaves minions on the board. And again, the Samurai pick, not seeing the value. I mean, I'm kind of surprised by that, right? Because typically the Warrior's not going to put up a big board.
Mm-hmm.
You see Rokara come down?
7 damage coming at Both players? Yep. Oh,
Nope. No, there's because you're not killing it. You don't have the hero power to follow up. So there's really just draw him the 5.
okay.
The long bait. He knew Mutanus was in the deck, so it would be eaten. Ooh, you the Righteous Defender. Do you play Leviathan just to get it on the board? Nope. But
Oh, Mutanus is going to be
it's gonna be
feasting
juicy.
in a minute. That's going to come down right now. I can almost sense it. Can't see him playing weapon right now.
I mean, you cycle away the armor. You already have 17 armor. You're not really worried about it.
Oh,
Yeah, just drop in Nelly. I like this play. Puts the armor up. A chance to just get more stuff in your hand. You see your opponent only have 2 cards.
do we have a faulty? Nope. Okay, we don't have a faulty draw. So Mr. Smite did show up.
And just picking the big minions.
Yep. Big damage minions. There's a jewel kit that's late to the
Not
party.
gonna get value. Yeah, I think you. I mean, you don't. Do you hold the jewel kit? Just the fact of like. Yeah, I think you just hold the jewel kit. There's no point. You want to save it for possible value later because it's just going to go wasted here.
Samuru's going to take care of the 2/6, but yeah.
There you go. There's a way to refill your hand. Let's hope he gets lucky with mechs on the bottom. You know, there's Mooncatcher's played.
The way to get it back. There you go.
And coin into radar detector is it's solid.
Lots of arrows heading face.
2, 3, 4. Oh, almost a full 5. But 4 is in immense value too, right? Gorilla Bot draws you the card. Mothership puts more minions on the board. And again, you're just putting those threats down.
Constantly, yep. From the depths. Kazakhstan is 2. Onyxia is 4. Wow. Onyxia seems natural.
Yeah.
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 And for those that haven't played Hearthstone and just getting into it, Onyxia does move and is a rush. I keep forgetting that as a player. Because you don't see the green around it, you just see the blue.
Yeah. So. Always attacks the basement. Now, because of full clear, I mean, it does make Onyxia
vulnerable.
Open.
Yep.
Keep going.
Any rush ones? Nope. Is it worth putting the jewel kit? Yeah.
I think jewel kit into Annoyatron because you know there's a possible smite swing back.
Yep.
So this just is a safe play, buffs your minions in hand. Then that way you can have a reset turn with the automaton, double gorillas. I mean, this is in a way to freeze the board. So Summer's finding ways to stay in it, not let the warrior just take complete control. But you're always kind of going into the end game of Kazakhstan.
Mm-hmm.
No draws.
There's
or
brawl.
one draw. Oh, 2. Fire and Frost. I always forget that. This into hero power clears, gains armor.
Gains 4 armor out of it, yep.
And then smite into. You can't go there yet. You have to go through the taunt.
No.
So it looked like he was targeting. You could try.
E for effort, man. There we go with the Outrider's Axe getting rid of the 3/3.
The other, I guess, it's a 50-50 if it hits the multicast or not, because then you could do the smite play. But this seems fine. But this gives a turn back to opponents to kind of reset. So
Mhm.
I think you trade in the buff up. Yep. Then don't you automaton first to make everything big?
That's a good question. I would say yes. But Bubble Bot is going to fix a few things.
Ooh, Sneed's nice too.
Huh?
But double bubble bot's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, double bubble bot's just safer. But again, holding off on now, it does get bigger because of the jewel kit a little bit, but interesting play. Worked out for him.
Yep.
Filled out the mana.
Heavy Plate or Kazakhstan. Deep just doesn't seem.
You've played one.
Deep's cheap, but
But he hasn't been activated, so you got 4 left, right? So the problem is you have to play the 4 dragons. So he has to play both amalgams. No, he's played 1 Anoxia. That was it, right? And we see the 1 brawl.
ooh, got rid of the 5/6s. That's good.
Immense value. Another chance to reload here with Tom Tom, Amalgam of the Deep, and then Smite just to clear? No. You Smite clear?
Base is the
Let's go.
place. Okay.
I think
Automaton, Clacker.
yeah, Amalgam first, just to see another.
Noyatron or
Ooh, do you?
Noyatron
Well,
or
you got Bubblebot, but you got Savior. Well, the thing is, Bubblebot replaces the Divine Shields.
True.
So, Radar's good.
As an opponent, I hate seeing somebody have bubbles and haunts.
Mm-hmm.
Reset. Okay. So,
But running out of options a little bit, right? I mean, we hope the radar hits a lot of things. You got 4 out of 5 last time, so we know 1 is dead. So the best you can do is 4 out of 5. Most likely, odds are it's only 3 out of 11. Yeah.
you can't use Shield Chatter right now because Smite would disappear.
It seems wasted. Yeah, I mean, either way, I think it's gone if you want to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's, do you value the card draw over the armor? If you do, then this is I don't know about that, because why wouldn't you want to just clear out another bubble? You're going to lose it anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
That minion was going to die regardless. I think he's just now realizing that.
Unless he's using the Drake to slap on the 7/9.
Well, even then, like, why would you trade in Smite to that minion? Now
Sleepy Dragon?
Now it just needs. Another bubble lot? Noyatron? Oh, not the value. Not looking good at this point. Empties his hand. Mutanis has no value. That's bonus. But now we're going to see either just drop the dragon to make Kazakhstan viable, or do you brand into School Teacher to get the additional value at this point? You're not under any threat, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just brand School
right.
Teacher. Yeah.
Just potentially slap him down. Bash. And from the depths, maybe?
Yeah.
Man, the cannons might be good too, breaking the bubbles.
You definitely don't pick Clash of Colossus here.
Nope. Man, the cannons it is.
Pick me!
And that's just a clean. Clears out all the taunts.
Well, but this does it twice, right? Because of brand active.
Pick me!
That's a good problem to have, though. And this is not where you want to be at if you're Desharmo.
Oh.
Oh. How many times do we say it?
Let's
How many times?
let's swing on this vine here just a little bit longer. Get rid of the brand. Get rid of the 5-2. Poke at the 4. Yeah.
And now every creature's just gonna get a little bit bigger. You know, you draw the cards. Now you want to draw Kazakhstan. You know it's in the bottom of your deck. You're at the bottom 3 already, though. And then you hope you got good value. You're out of removal, right? So your tennis is just going to kind of sit there and board.
Yep.
There's
Kazakhstan.
see it. Drops it.
What are we picking? Ooh, I've missed that one, but I'm sure it was the middle one. Yep.
Embers. Yeah.
It's over. Oh. Sebek.
Wow. Sebek brings it back.
Sebek with the win. Amazing comeback. Got time for a quick interview?
Absolutely.
All right. So we had a bunch of a couple of fantastic matches tonight. While we're waiting for Sebek to say yes or no, time and sure, what do I do? Join us. That's all you got to do.
Have a mic.
Yeah.
Make sure it's on.
So, typing to him. We'll invite you to.
Exciting match, though. I mean, it looked like several times both players had it in the bag, and then they came back, flipped the board around, and it came down to that last game, Silver Scrapes, and man, Control Warrior is just scary. I don't care how you end it. I don't care what your final package is, but that Warrior just does work.
Yep, exactly. Sebek is in channel now. How you doing?
Hi.
Congrats.
Good. Thanks.
That must have had your heart pumping for a quick minute.
Yeah, it did. I hadn't been on stream in a while. I was kind of nervous, especially early on. I definitely misplayed a few times there with that Mech Paladin a lot, but Warrior came through in the last game, so that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go down the first 2 games. What's your mindset kind of going in? You know, that game 3. You know, where's your head?
Yeah. I mean, I knew. I thought he might have been playing. Actually, thought he might have been playing Control on Paladin, so that's why I went with the Mech Paladin next. And I knew I hadn't played it well, so I knew I can turn that around there. It's a deck that I really have liked over a while. I hadn't played it in a while, so I kind of needed a little bit of time to get back in there. But yeah, it just you never know.
Yeah. The other question we had, just from your experience when you're playing Priest, and why are you picking the Death Rattle card off the School Teacher? Like, what were you looking for? What was the mindset?
I was actually looking for the card I got.
Okay.
Where I could move their board. I didn't really like my options there, so I just that's pretty much what I was looking for there.
Okay. Well, it paid off. It worked out. I mean, it was one of those that it didn't seem like it was the obvious choice, but that's one of those experience kinds of choices.
Yeah, I played that deck a lot, and I didn't think any of the other options were going to help me win in the end. So it was kind of just like, well, the best chance of winning there is finding something off the Death Rattle and maybe getting his board down a little bit. So that was what I was thinking there.
Very good.
Yeah,
that priest mirror, man, that was a back and forth battle too.
Yeah, and then you run out of cards, and it's like he had a full, it's 5-6 cards in his hand, and I had the 2 wigs, and that was it. But the other game, it took me forever to find the wig, so that definitely also was important in that deck. Obviously, when the mulligan and all that with that too, you're just looking for wig, or if you have the wig, obviously a combination of a few other things, but that's kind of what you're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was definitely a great win, and especially on stream, the nerves are kicking in. And
yeah, it's only my second time on stream, so I'm not gonna lie. I had some nerves flowing there, and I made some mistakes, but it's fun.
You did fine.
Nice to win.
Yeah.
So.
an established player with Ducharme too. He's no been around for quite a while. So.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was on with Justin last time. That was a pretty good one.
Yes.
Last season.
Yep.
You know, I mean, we did win last season. I know that this season hasn't gone the way we'd hoped, but hopefully we can turn it around here in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, there's I'm just trying to think how many weeks were left. I think it's only 2, right? This week.
Only 2 left, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Is there anybody else you'd like to thank before we let you get rock and rolling for the evening?
It's my team. You know, they always have my back. I'm sure they've been watching. You know, shout out to them, and hopefully we pull out the win this week. Big Money has got I think he's playing right now, so hopefully he pulls up that win and we can win for the week.
It always feels good, no matter how the season is. It always feels good to win the week and win on stream. So congrats and good luck to the rest of the season.
Yep, thanks for having me.
All right, no problem. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Love having Game 5s. Streamed at least. Just as long as they're not, you know, those lovely marathon matches where matches are like 45 minutes in length. But
Yeah, we take it. I mean, you know, kind of, what's your takeaway for the week? It's Sunday. It's the end of the week. What was your lessons learned this week?
Don't underestimate if somebody doesn't have wig in their hand right away.
Very true. Yep. Yeah, mine was always bring warrior. I think that's
always bring warrior. Okay.
Always bring warrior. Well, it was a pleasure. It's always fun.
Yes.
You know, always look forward to it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you having me on.
You got it. Just wanted to run down what's going to happen this week coming. So I think Tuesday is going to be your natural Hearth Center. I didn't see any announcements for Seat by the Hearth for any guests that are going to be on the Monday. So we're just jumping into Tuesday Hearth Center, which can be hosted by Lotus Knight. Wednesday, I believe, is when things start ramping up for the Challenger Series, unless that's all done now. I be honest with you, I haven't been keeping in touch with how the Challenger's doing. Sorry about that. But I know Thursday is definitely Wild and Out Series, which is also that season starting to wind down. It's got a couple weeks left, so some playoff implicating things. And then we're back to Friday, which is Friday Night Fights, and Saturday, Salty Saturday, and then a Sunday Showdown with hopefully a sprinkle of Schoolstone in there somehow, some way. So, but any final words on the night for yourself, Kodamora? Are you?
Yeah, happy, glad my team actually got the tie this week. We didn't lose, so that's always a good thing. It's always happy for getting the most points you can without winning, and that's always a pleasure. Super happy to be a part of this, and look forward to the next time. Perfect.
We appreciate you being on stream with the Myanodon too. So we'll wish Myanodon good luck on his match, and we wish everybody have a great week coming, and be safe out there. Take care, everybody.
Bye.